Every Friday on our website. Redfeather deep! Here's the receiver who breaks a tackle! It's Bovine! Brantley trying to catch him! He won't! And Oklahoma City on the first play of their next drive busts it loose and they regain the lead! Are you kidding me? Tiberius Bovine once again making the big play. Unbelievable. One wide receiver either side for Mike, and Daza will flip it out to Sim, and Sim makes the play! 10-5 touchdown! The doctor is in! The Crabs have a lead! Oh, mama! There goes that man!
To the right, single receiver to the left. Dunhill to throw, has time, goes deep down the left-hand side. That was complete behind the defense. They can't catch him. 10-5 touchdown. Atlanta. Boo Chisholm does it again.
Hand off to English on a first down, trying to get it around the left-hand side, takes the long way around, but still picks up the first down, still on his feet, down the sideline, Johnny English, past the 20, 10, he scores again! Touchdown, Honolulu! On one of the craziest runs after fake punt, pass, kick, whatever, I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
Mama, there goes that man.
I mean, he goes 5 yards back before he scores.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment about that, but I'll keep my comments to myself because he took this one to the house. He was blazing. 51 didn't have a shot.
So the Skyhawks having trouble on first and second down sometimes in terms of moving the chains, but they have converted on a decent amount of these third downs. I believe they've only had to punt once. Snap back, handoff to English, right up the gut. English fights his way for a first down again, and can you believe that? Johnny English, that's the second time on third down the man has just taken the ball and ran right up the gut for a first. This is a man possessed, ladies and gentlemen. He wants this Skyhawk team to succeed, and it looks like he's...
Splint backs for Louis Ndula. Shot to throw, runs right into Big Sexy.
Big Sexy. Another country has heard from. Oh, yeah.
He just blew right by the offensive tackle. Gave him one little move and boop, down the cornerback went.
Split receivers and offside, and Snowden's going to take the handoff. Snowden, oh, Richard Snowden spins back inside, breaks a tackle and scores. That's going to be a touchdown, DC. How in the world did he keep his balance and move the other way?
Wow, that's well, we were just talking about it too. You know, Snowden's got that ability to break away, and had he had more field there, he was definitely able to keep going. You know, he goes through the whole guy, doesn't have a whole lot of room there. One guy misses a tackle, he spins on him another, and shakes off that one right down there at the end and is able to get in there. So DC is shown early on. They set the pace with the first touchdown, and then they come and they answer back with a great drive there.
Walker's deep pass is picked off. That's interception number 3 on the night. Eddie Gage gets up and returns it to the 34. How about Baltimore's defense against Kevin Walker? He did not throw 3 interceptions all of last season in any game. And only 2 times in his career has Walker thrown at least 3. These two defenses right now canceling each other out. Showing a blitz up the middle, they bring it, Bentley running right into it, Bentley gets away from it, Bentley's got a first down, breaks a tackle, Ray Bentley, he's gone, and the Aztecs are gonna score and get on the board. Welcome to the game, Ray Bentley. And the Aztecs are right back in it just like that.
It's time to bring the curtain down on week 7 of the SFL's 20th season as we are live from the shipyards in Portland, Oregon. It's the Portland Fleet riding high on a 3-game winning streak against the Indianapolis Ramblers, who are trying to roll their way back up the hill after losing 2 straight. Hello and a very warm welcome. Happy to have your company in the broadcast booth. My name is Michael Trillo. Mickey Belillo is finally, at long last, alongside me here in the broadcast booth. TJ Woods and Eddie Gage on stats for us tonight. Mickey, an interesting matchup we've got here as Portland is looking to maintain their stranglehold on the Pacific Division, a sentence that maybe 2 months ago we didn't think we'd be saying.
Absolutely right, Mike. I mean, we were talking about before, Portland's best seasons have been a record of 6-6, and they've already surpassed that halfway mark already. And we're only in week 7 of this season. So let's see if they can keep up this winning streak and be able to get better than that 6-6 record.
A first playoff berth could very well and truly be on the line. The Ramblers in their inaugural season last year finishing at 3-9. They've got 2 wins already on this season, but against teams that are sitting currently with sub-500 records, Seattle and Florida. Coin toss is done, and we are about to get this one underway. Portland with a very classy white, blue, white look against the gray, white, gray of the team from Indianapolis. Joey Robb kicks us off, and away we go. And to the 20-yard line on the return goes Kanye Rockefeller. Here's the Indianapolis starting offense. Colin Pierce, the quarterback. Christian Pierce, the running back. Rob Hunt, Jay Viper, Jeff Banfield, and the streaking Ryan Roosevelt are the wide receivers. Randy Pierce, the lone tight end. Chad Rowland and Max Van Ling on the offensive line. 1st and 10 split back. 1 to either side, 7 to the box for Portland. They'll bring 6. Pierce to the far side finds Banfield.
And Jeff Banfield has definitely been a secondary weapon for the Indianapolis offense this season. When they can't get it to Ryan Roosevelt, they are definitely looking Jeff Banfield's direction.
Roosevelt, the number 1 receiver in the league this season, 1st in yards with 757, targets with 67, and touchdowns with 8. And we are sure we'll see him in this contest in short order as Portland really crowds the box. But they only rush 5. Another quick release from Pierce as he finds Ryan Roosevelt up there for a 6-yard gain. Portland's starting defense, Robert Broer, Luis Negron, and Jobo McSlim on the defensive line. Linebackers, Mel Davis, Joseph Lama, Brody Gulch, and Khalil Thomas. Corners, Chris Stack, Derek Majors, Leo Morris, and the safeties, Bernard Smith and Dale McLean. Pierce pump fakes, floats it downfield, a little bit of a duck pass, and it was a little bit shy of Randy Pierce. McLean knocked it down.
And that was a great job by inside linebacker Joseph Lama there. The 2 linebackers were up in the box to start at the play, but then they both dropped back into pass coverage, almost like they knew what the play was going to be. By them dropping back, Lama was able to put his paw up and be able to knock that ball down.
Brings up a 3rd and 4. Trips left for Colin Pierce, who's got 1,800 yards on the season. Adds a little bit more to Ryan Roosevelt's tally as he picks up a 1st down. Pierce, 12 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And in this league, which is, you see a lot of turnovers and a lot of interceptions, to have a positive touchdown to interception ratio is a thing of beauty, especially this far into the season.
Absolutely, Mike.
First run of the day for Christian Pierce, and it's a good one. Picks up 8, tackled by McLean.
And that's something that Christian Pierce does very well. He's able to pick up the ball, look for the hole, and find the holes in the defense to be able to pick up 7, 8 yards like he did on first down there.
Christian Pierce not the primary weapon on this Indianapolis offense. Only 103 carries coming into the game with 218 yards at an average of 2.1 yards per carry. 2nd and 2, Pierce going long, wide open behind the defense. Touchdown, Ramblers. Randy Pierce rumbles in.
And that's something you're going to hear all day long. Pierce to Pierce. Randy Pierce, the tight end, he is known to be coming from his down stance and take a fly route right up the middle of the field like he did there. And he was just wide open. The defense could not be any further away from him, which helped him get right into the end zone to put 6 on the board on the opening drive for the Ramblers.
2nd touchdown of the season for Randy Pierce. Playing in his 5th SFL season, obviously 2nd with the Ramblers. And Top Kiefer on to attempt the extra point. It is up, and it is good. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. It's football for everyone. And if you are new and tuning in for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. Welcome to the SFL. I'm sure you'll find it a very hospitable place. Leo Morris returns the kick back for the Portland Fleet as they find themselves down 7 heading on to their first offensive set.
It's going to be interesting what Portland does here. As much as Indianapolis is an air offense, Portland is a running offense. We're going to see if they're going to keep that game plan to go against the Ramblers here.
Portland not the biggest scorers in the league, only averaging 23 points a game. They're going to keep the ball on the ground with Ezekiel Love. And we were talking pregame about the dichotomy of offensive styles we're going to see tonight.
And Ezekiel Love, number 2 in carry so far this season with 133, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. And you can see that just on that first play right there, picking up 6.
And it might be tough for Portland if they get behind in this game with such a run-heavy style. They really want to get ahead early and control the game. And that time, Love going absolutely nowhere. Let's run you through the Portland Fleet offense. Cyrus Jive, the quarterback, Love, the running back. Jacob Farmer at fullback. Israel Adams, Benjamin Warner, and Ryan Davis, the wide receiver. Nelson Lozano, the lone tight end. 3 on the offensive line, Randy Fath III, Jaden Taylor, and Jay Warren. Portland trying to convert this 3rd down and 3. Offset eye, gonna hand it to Love, strong side, breaks a tackle, and he ran right through Blake Prine and picked up a 1st down.
Ezekiel Love there did exactly what every running back has to do. Just keep your legs moving and try to go for the 1st down. He knew exactly where the yard marker was, and he knew exactly what he had to get. He did get hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he kept his legs moving and was able to pick up that 1st down.
Another handoff to Love goes not much of anywhere. Here's the Indianapolis defense. The defensive line is Rocco Rossi, Mac Dre, Derek Jenko, and Jabril Curse. Adam Wiseman, Chris Britton, and Chad McDevitt, the linebackers. Blake Prine, Angel Maldonado, Ernest McCrae Sr., and Adam Noyd, the corners. Kanye Rockefeller and Bryant James, the safeties. 2nd and 8, Jive floats it out to Love. He gets a nice seal block on the edge and picks up 8 yards.
If Cyrus Jive could have just led Ezekiel Love just a little bit more right there, Love had to reach back for that. I think Ezekiel Love would have gotten that 1st down, but he did have to reach back, turn around a little bit, but still, great job by Love picking up those yards on that play.
2nd straight 3rd and short here for Portland. And they're going to pick up the 1st down as there was a jump off sides. And Jive says, why not go for it? and hauling in the pass. I believe that was Lozano, and it was.
Yes, Nelson Lozano right there. Great catch right there as we look at R62 calling for the encroachment on the defense there. But just a great job by Jive, knowing that he had the free play, knowing that he already got the first down, might as well air it out, something that Portland doesn't do much in their season so far. But take the shot, give it a chance, and it paid off that time.
Indianapolis, not necessarily the most stingy defense we've got in the league, giving up almost 30 points a game. Handoff, Love, nice block by Farmer, but he only gets 2. And Indianapolis giving up 87 rushing yards per game.
And that was a great job by Ernest McCray Sr. coming in from the cornerback to step up to be able to stop Ezekiel Love for only 2 yards.
It looks like Indianapolis expecting run again with 7 in the box, but we do see teams pass out of this formation fairly often. It is going to be a swing pass to Love. Tries to drag his defenders, push towards the pylon. He's going to be a yard short.
And that's one of the keys with Ezekiel Love, a second and long play right there, but Ezekiel Love picks it up. He's just a workhorse out there. He's a power back, running over players, carrying players all the way he can to make this a 3rd and short situation.
3rd straight, 3rd and short on this Portland drive. Love gets a spin move to make 2 defenders fall out of their shoes and picks up a fresh set of downs.
Ezekiel Love there spinning around, spinning to the left, spinning to the right, picking up the yardage there for that first down. Just a great rush there by Ezekiel Love.
Going back to the first Indianapolis drive for the touchdown, it was 6 plays, 73 yards in just a minute 45 seconds, so not very long at all. This Portland drive, though, has been a long way down the field, and they're just going to continue chipping away at the yardage. That's an interesting place for Ezekiel Love to be, a little bit of a stop route over the middle.
Yeah, you don't see that play called much, where you have your running back going through the middle of the line and just stopping 2 yards up. He picked up the 1 yard there, but I think they would have done more if they just would have handed the ball off to him.
2nd and 9, Jive going deep, and he's got a touchdown. Post route to perfection for Benjamin Warner.
It's just a great route running there by Ben Warner. He found the hole in the defense. He knew exactly where it had to be. Cyrus Jai just caught eyes with him, threw him the ball. He's in for 6.
And Warner did a great job splitting the safeties. And by the time that the Ramblers defense caught up to him, it was too late. And how about this, an 11-play, 75-yard drive. And the extra point by Joey Robb is good. 4 minutes and 53 seconds of possession time on that drive for Portland. And I do want to point out they ran more than they passed. They ran 6 times for 22 yards, passed 5 times for 53 yards.
And you're probably going to see that time of possession really sway towards the Portland side because they run the ball so often and Indy throws the ball more often. Portland's going to hold on to the ball as far as time of possession is concerned.
We were looking at season stats, and Indianapolis scoring near the top 10 of the league, 27 points per game. Rockefeller, spin move past the 30, out past the 40, broken tackle by the punter. He's up into Portland territory to the 20, Kanye Rockefeller. Goodbye, touchdown.
What a great return by Kanye Rockefeller. Found the seam on the outside, was able to break a few tackles. It looked like the only person who was able to really get good contact on him was the kicker, Joey Robb. But he just made everybody miss. He just had that angle, as you can see right here, going towards the sideline, making Robb miss, and then nobody touched him, and in for 6 for a great way to respond to that Portland Fleet touchdown.
It is the 6th, count it, 6th return touchdown in the career of Kanye Rockefeller. which moves him into a tie for 11th place all-time with Robert Merrill. One of the most dynamic return men we have ever seen in this league. Kick on the way and good, and Indianapolis wasted no time. In fact, their offense didn't even get to see the turf, and they're back up by 7.
Yeah, just a great job once again by Kanye Rockefeller just to be able to find the seam on that outside, pick up the 6 points for Indianapolis so they can maintain the lead.
Now, the one concern that I might see in this is that with the grinded out run first style of the Portland offense, how much fatigue and stress is this going to put on the Indianapolis defense, who essentially are going to be on the field 2 series in a row?
It's probably going to put a lot of fatigue there, Mike. You know, they were expecting a break, having their offense on the field, but just Kanye put the 6 points on the board. But on the other token, they may turn around. This may be just a way for them to motivate and give them more energy to say, yeah, great job, Kanye put more points on the board. Now let's do our job and stop the fleet.
And also, with how fast-paced this Ramblers offense has been, you got to think that the defense is used to it. But Ezekiel Love says, you see I have a wrong run. How about I have one of my own? How about just one play, 71 yards, and a touchdown for the Fleets? Oh, this game's gotten crazy.
And there you go. Indianapolis, they have a big play off the kickoff. The Fleet turn around and goes, now it's our turn. Ezekiel Love taking the ball, hitting the hole, going around the end, making a great move right there, finding the sideline, and he wasn't touched the entire way down. That was a 69-yard rushing touchdown for Ezekiel Love.
Big shout out to Chad Rowland and Randy Pierce, who both had huge blocks on that play to swing. Randy Fatt III and Nelson Lozano Jr. I read the wrong roster. It's late here on the East Coast. Who both had huge blocks to spring Ezekiel Love free. And it is 14-14 here in the first quarter.
Mike, this is going to be some game with Indy and Portland here. It's going to be high scoring, I feel, as long as the defense can do their job and the offense does their job. This may be one of the top scoring games of the season.
And Portland coming off a bye week, and after defeating Vancouver Legion for the first time ever to improve to 3-2. And that was a barn burner, 27-24. Rockefeller does a little bit of a pirouette in the end zone. There's another pirouette on the field, and can't get away from the swarm of blue jerseys as we've got another Indianapolis drive coming up. Cameron Irvine, what do you got for us?
Well, Torillo, I don't have the excitement that you have, but I do have Sudo Nakai getting an opening drive touchdown for the second straight week. San Diego on the road in Denver in a Western tilt, 7-0 Mavericks. Back to Michael and Mickey in Portland.
Thank you, Cam. It's Mike and Mick in the evening. There's a radio show in there somewhere as Roosevelt takes a early pass for 4 yards.
And Indy goes back right to what they do best, just keeping the ball in the air. Those short yardage, just short out routes right there is kind of a key to their offense. You know, they pick up 3 or 4 or 5 yards each time. They're always going to get a first down by the time they, or at least make it third and short by third down.
This time a handoff. Christian Pierce, nowhere to go, and I guess this is as good a time as Eddie to mention that Portland have a really good rushing defense, top 3 in the league, only allowing 63 yards a game. As Louis Negron is a little bit slow to get up.
Looks like he took a tough block right there by number. It looks like he took the hit from Christian Pierce when he made that tackle.
On 3rd and 5, Colin Pierce under center. He throws on average 44 times a game, and that one is complete for a first down. Little post route to Banfield.
Great job right there. Pierce to Banfield. Colin Pierce knew exactly who he wanted to throw to him. It was Banfield's job to be able to get open there, and he did, to be able to pick up first down there for the Ramblers.
Another corner route. Another completion to Roosevelt, who spins out of a tackle and picks up a move of the chains.
That was a huge hit by Brody Gulch right there on Roosevelt. Just hit him a little bit too late, a little past the yard markers, but it was a huge hit. I'm surprised Roosevelt was able to get up after that one.
Fresh set of downs into Portland territory at the 49. That time the offensive line could not contain the weapon that is Joe Bo McSlim. Huge sack.
And there was nothing slim about that sack right there. McSlim just came through the line, was able to get to Colin Pierce and sack him for that 4-yard loss. Big sack there for the Fleet.
And now 4 wide against a prevent defense. Only 3 down linemen for Portland. It's the Ramblers. Pierce out of the gun, throws towards the sticks, and it's a first down. That was close, but Roosevelt picked it up.
Great job by Roosevelt. That's always a dangerous route there for the wide receivers coming over the middle. As you can see, there were 4 blue jerseys there, and Roosevelt caught the ball, held onto it, and still took a big hit.
2 nice first down conversions by Roosevelt on this drive. Moving quickly into Portland territory. Down the field, knocked away. We've already seen Dale McLean almost have a chance at a pick. That time, Derek Majors almost had him one.
And that was honestly just a very dangerous throw there. As you can see, number 52, Mel Davis, was there with the deflection, dropping back into coverage from the inside linebacker spot. But Colin Pierce, he was throwing to a receiver, and he was just double covered right there. I don't know if that was just a wise throw.
That was only the second incompletion of the game combined between both quarterbacks, and both of them were Colin Pierce looking for a deep route, and the ball was swatted down by a Portland secondary member. This time they go back to the ground to Christian Pierce, and Luis Negron will play no further part in this contest, and that's a big deal on that Fleet defensive line.
Yeah, losing a defensive tackle like that, especially against a pass-heavy offense like Indianapolis, is just going to hurt the Fleet defense.
Under a minute to go in a very action-packed first quarter, and Indianapolis wants to make it more action-packed. Another first down to Randy Pierce over the middle.
That Pierce-to-Pierce combo is going to be very key for this game. They connected for that touchdown in the first drive, and they're still connecting, whether it be on the ground Pierce or in the air Pierce. The Pierces are connecting to keep this ball moving down the field.
There's Pierces everywhere. Pierce aplenty on this Indianapolis offense. Colin, pressure in his face, throws it long into traffic and knocked away. And all 3 times that Colin Pierce has gone deep like that, he's gotten himself into trouble.
That looked like the same exact play to Randy Pierce that we saw before, that he got the touchdown on the first drive. Just that tight end fly route from the down stance right up the middle of the field. That time, the Fleet wasn't being fooled. They had 3 guys on Randy Pierce.
On 2nd and 10, they run the ball, and absolutely nothing doing for Christian Pierce that time.
It's going to be the 3rd time Indianapolis has been in this situation, 3rd and pretty long, and each and every single time they have looked for Ryan Roosevelt to get them out of the jam, to get the first down. Let's see if Indianapolis does it again on this 3rd down play once we get back to the second quarter.
Took the over. If you are betting or on the Jack's data page, it's 14-14 at the end of the first quarter right here on the SFL presented by APM Music on on YouTube. We flop the field. Michael Trillo, Mickey Melillo, say that 5 times fast, in the booth with you for this one, the late night game here on Sunday. Pierce throws, and nobody covered the wide receiver, Jeff Banfield. Touchdown, Ramblers.
Jeff Banfield just got behind the defense. I don't know what the defense was looking at there, but Banfield was wide open. Looks like maybe the defender tried to jump the route to be able to deflect that ball, but even so, there was nobody covering Banfield for him to get into the corner of the end zone and catch that ball.
So just because I'm curious, I went and looked up what Jack's data had the over-under at for this game. The over-under is 51.5. And right now, we're well on our way to it, 35 points. And we have just started the second quarter.
I think Jack's data is going to have to talk to their odds makers right there, because this over-under should have been something closer to 70.
We maybe end up with a bit of a basketball score here today, Mickey.
It may happen, Mike, just the way this first half has been going.
21-14 Indianapolis. If you're just joining us, it's 2 passing touchdowns for Colin Pierce, 1 to Randy Pierce and 1 to Jeff Banfield, and a return touchdown for Kanye Rockefeller off a kickoff. The 2 Portland scores have been an Ezekiel Love 69-yard run and a Cyrus Jive pass to Benjamin Warner. And that's how we've got our current score of 21-14 with 10:53 to go in the first half. Jive, plenty of time in the pocket, lasers it across the middle, and that is caught. Kyle Griswold off the bench makes the catch.
Kyle Griswold there, the backup tight end, coming in, making a great catch on first down to make this 2nd and 3.
And that's something that Portland has done really well all season long, is they have done a fantastic job on first down of picking up good yardage and setting up their rushing attack to pick up first downs on 2nd and 3rd and short, like Ezekiel Love just did right there.
Yeah, that was key. That first down play, picking up 7 yards, then being able to just hand off the ball to Love, makes it an easy first down to get, and now they have another first down. Don't have to worry about the stress of a 3rd down play.
They feed Ezekiel Love. He's number 2 in the league in carries this season. And he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry when he does touch the ball. Oh, wow. Benjamin Warner took a shoulder to the chest, but hung on to the football. Another move of the chains up near midfield.
I'm starting to like this Fleet offense game plan. Now, instead of relying heavily on Ezekiel Love, they're going air, ground here. They're mixing it up a lot, so now it's really keeping the Ramblers' defense on their toes. As much as the Ramblers were stacking the box before, now they're going to have to keep their heads up and see exactly what the Fleet's going to do, because now they don't know what they're going to do.
Kanye Rockefeller was the man that laid the hit on the last drive. Pass a little bit behind Ezekiel Love. Love does not care. He'll spin 3 times and pick up 8. Another great play on first down.
A great job by Love. He's making moves tonight to be able to pick up an extra 2 or 3 yards on every play. And you saw it on that one. A few spin moves. Should have been 2nd and 5. He made it 2nd and 2.
And again, another pass on that swing. It was a little bit behind Ezekiel Love. This time the Ramblers defense shuts it down. Chad McDevitt, lead man to the football.
Chad McDevitt, keep an eye on him. He's all over the field. He's in pass coverage. He's in run coverage. He's all over the field. But that was a great job by him to be able to stand up Love and make sure he didn't get the first down.
3rd and 1. First 3rd down of the drive. They're going to go to the air, floating it out to the far side. Pass caught by Nelson Lozano. And it's another move of the chains.
3rd and 1 play, quick little out route, picking up just a few extra yards than what you needed. Great job by the Fleet offense. Once again, mixing up the play call. Not relying on Love 100% of the time, but utilizing those receivers in key plays like that.
Love trying to stretch the play. Bowls over a defender, gets a block. Sheds another tackle at the 15. Keeps his legs churning down to the 9-yard line.
And that's what I was mentioning about Ezekiel Love before. He is just all power. He got the balls, went around the end. There's one missed tackle. Another missed tackle right here, just sheds off Ernest McCray. And then he keeps on going down the field, and it took 1, 2. There was a third white jersey there, but it took multiple Ramblers to be able to take Ezekiel Love down.
There is a reason why he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. He's got 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's got one already tonight. Can he get a second one? He tries to stretch the play, and Kanye Rockefeller, I think, is just going to be spying Ezekiel Love for the rest of the evening.
And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to play in a sort of man-to-man coverage with Ezekiel Love. One of those safeties is going to have to keep an eye on him all the time. He runs the ball, that safety comes up. He goes out into a flat pattern or a swing pass, that safety's going to be all over him.
And now that means they could open up some holes in the back half of the defense for the passing attack. Love tries to escape off the left-hand side. Nice tackle by Chris Britton. And another important thing to stop heavy rushing attacks like this is the linebacking core. We've seen McDevitt and now Britt make some pretty good tackles.
Yeah, and these linebackers on the Indianapolis Ramblers, like I said, they're all over the field. They're in pass coverage, they're in run coverage. So just keep an eye on them. They're going to try and stop Love any way they can.
3rd and goal, throwing to the goal line, touchdown, Portland. The Fleet tie the ball game again. Gavin Buffett off the bench and onto the scoreboard.
And what a way to get your name out there when you come off the bench, just scoring a touchdown right here. Just a great pass there by Cyrus Jive. And Bouvet finding just a little bit of a lane. It wasn't much, but Jive saw it and he threw it right into his hands.
Bouvet coming off the bench in the WR3 spot. And he potentially ties this game pending the extra point from Joey Robb. Jive still yet to throw an incompletion in today's game, and we have a 21-21 ball game. The SFL would like to recognize staff who operate mostly behind the scenes to keep the league operational. Andrew Rastelli operates the minor league, getting new coaches up to speed and players onto teams and in the portal. Ashley Jackson helps to keep our community a welcoming place for all. And Marcus Dunhill assists with contracts and off-season construction, thanks to all of our terrific staff that has helped the SFL to 10 years of operation. Rockefeller, man, every time he touches the ball, I'm expecting big things, but he only gets out to the 24 time.
Yeah, Rockefeller is just one of those players that is just very dynamic. You don't know what he's going to do. Even on defense, when he's back there, he's got a chance to catch the ball every time it's thrown his direction.
Indianapolis last time on the field, 12 plays, 77 yards in 3 minutes and 50 seconds to take a 21-14 lead. What are they going to do now? Pierce going deep, intercepted. He's gambled one too many times against that Portland secondary, and Chris Stack is the beneficiary.
And that was just great job on Chris Stack. I don't think that was just a bad play call by the Ramblers coming out throwing on 1st and 10. Had the Banfield right there, but Chris Stack just saw the eyes of the quarterback, saw Colin Pierce's eyes, jumped the route, and he was able to jump up, grab that INT, and get the ball back into their hands.
Pass was thrown a little bit too far inside for my liking. If he goes more towards the outside, more towards the sideline with that may be a touchdown because Stack really bit hard on that pass. But either way, it's Portland ball in Rambler territory, and another 7-yard pickup for the man wearing number 21, up to 135 yards on the day.
Ezekiel Love here is just having an outstanding game, averaging 10.2 yards per carry. So every time he touches the ball, he's pretty much picking up a first down.
Well, all you can ask for in a running back, although the 70-yard run definitely helps that average. Love gets skinny, picks up another first down to the 23.
And if you notice who was in on that tackle, Kanye Rockefeller just came up and he is watching Ezekiel Love. He's going to make sure he doesn't break for another 69-yard run.
But Portland in field goal range of the 23 thanks to the interception. Two tight ends left, two wide receivers right. They're going to run the direction of the tight ends. Little stop and go for Ezekiel Love. What a run to get down inside the 2.
What a stutter step by Ezekiel Love right at the line of scrimmage. Saw the defense coming up and just stuttered, went, hit the sideline.
They go up-tempo with 5 minutes to go in the half. They give it right back to Love, who spins twice, and he scores. Oh, he should have been dead to rights in the backfield, but number 21 only has eyes for the painted turf.
And you might as well give it to the man that got them to first and goal from the 1-inch line. Just let him finish it off. Ezekiel Love making a great spin here. Got hit by the defense right there. That was number 53, Adam Weissman, but he just couldn't wrap up Love, and he was able to get into the end zone.
And Rocco Rossi, the defensive end, got clean through the offensive line into the backfield and really should have had Ezekiel Love for about a 2-yard loss, but Love just too slippery. And just like that, it's 14 points for Portland in about 3 minutes. And the Fleet take the lead.
And that over by Jack Stata right now is looking very good. We are looking at 49 points already, and it's not even the end of the first half.
Woo, boy. When I said I wanted to see a basketball score, I was only partially kidding. 28-21 at the 4:55 mark of the second quarter. If you want offense, well, you've come to the right place.
We currently have a CYO basketball score right now. We're moving on up to high school level.
I have definitely seen high school and even some college basketball games with less scoring than this in the first half. Handoff. Oh, look how Christian Pierce run down for a loss of 2. And he had about enough time to get the ball in his hands and then look up to a wall of white and blue.
Yeah. You had Mel Davis and Brody Gulch that just combined for that tackle for that 2-yard loss on first down.
Colin Pierce likely going to go back to the air here, split backs. On 2nd and 12, remember on 2nd and 14, they picked it up with Roosevelt. They go back to Roosevelt and get to a 3rd and 6. Impact Monday heads to Louisiana tomorrow when the Revolution welcome in the Vancouver Legion. Who's going 4-2? Join Cameron Irvine and Paul Sarp at 7:15 Eastern for this week in the SFL pregame show before Louisiana and Vancouver kickoff at 8:15 Eastern right here on SFL YouTube, and a game that it will be very, very interesting for this Portland Fleet team. And I'll tell you why after this. Oh, it's intercepted! What a wild deflection! And the Fleet have the ball back again. It's Leo Morris.
Leo Morris just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Colin Pierce forced that ball in there. Ball just popped up, and Morris just turned around and said, "That is mine. Give it to me." Got the interception. Once again, that interception starts them in Indianapolis territory.
Second straight time. Indianapolis, their last 2 drives, 1 play in interception, 3 plays in interception. Portland, maybe a little bit fortuitous, but they are starting to turn the screws on the Indianapolis Ramblers here.
And that's the one thing that we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Can Indianapolis be able to beat a team with a winning record? They haven't done it at all this season so far. Their 2 wins came to sub 500 teams. Portland at 3-2 looks like it's going to keep the streak going for Indianapolis.
This game's been so wild and crazy. I have no idea what's going to happen in the second half, and neither does anybody else. But I mentioned that the Vancouver game tomorrow night against Louisiana is very important, not just for Vancouver and Louisiana, who both are sitting at 3-2 at the moment, but for Portland, who they look in control of the game at the moment, are looking to keep a stranglehold on the Pacific Division. Now, a loss by Portland and a win by Vancouver in any given week would give the emphasis back to the Legion, but the emphasis is going right back to the Ramblers as it's intercepted by Ernest McCray Sr.
Great job by McCray, just keeping an eye on Cyrus Drive's eyes. He came up, he saw that ball, he watched him, he was able to jump up and get that interception, just jump the route and be able to get the ball back. It's nothing like a pick for a pick in these games.
And we had all offense in the first quarter and 2/3. And now the defenses have come to play over the last couple of drives. It's Indianapolis ball, 3 minutes to go in the first half. They're at their own 36. Pierce, can he keep the ball where his receivers can get it? Yes, he can. Roosevelt almost escaped the not-so-loving arms of Derek Majors, but he does pick up a first down.
And I think that's what Indianapolis is going to have to focus on. A lot of their play calling are these out routes by their receivers. Now, Roosevelt did a great job to shed a tackle to get extra yards to get the first down. But I think their big problem has been throwing the ball downfield. If they keep on these 5-yard, 7-yard out routes, they're going to keep the ball safe, keep the ball in their own receivers' hands, and not turn the ball over.
Want a nickel and dime Portland down the field. Will they continue that? Yes, they will. Another out route, another catch, another 9 yards this time for Banfield.
And that's what I was just mentioning before. Just keep these out routes. There was nobody around Banfield right there. It seems like the Portland defense is defending against the long passing plays, but they're not defending against these out routes to the receivers or to the running back.
They've said, hey, we'll let you have the short stuff, but you're not going to beat us deep. Getting close to that 2-minute warning. Pierce out route again. Caught by Roosevelt. First down.
And you're definitely going to hear these names all this drive. Banfield, Roosevelt, Banfield, Roosevelt. Roosevelt right there. Once again, another out route to the receiver. They started on their own 35. They've just flipped the field. They're now on Portland's 36. And all due to out routes.
Ryan Roosevelt averaging just over 10 catches per game as we hit the 2-minute warning. Portland has scored the last 14 points, but Indianapolis is trying to come back before the halftime interval. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. And Indianapolis keep up the pressure here on the Portland defense. It's going to be another out route, a one-handed catch by Roosevelt, who's flipped sides of the field on that play. And he's already up to 9 receptions on 9 targets. I mentioned he averages 10.6 catches a game.
That was a little errant throw there by Colin Pierce to Ryan Roosevelt, but Roosevelt did a great job to turn around, be able to catch the ball one-handed, pick up 7 yards, and make just second and short.
7 in the box for Portland. That means somebody's in one-on-one coverage on the outside. It's number 17, Ryan Roosevelt, into the red zone at the 18.
This is a great job by the Ramblers right now. It's a great drive. Just able to capitalize on the mistake by the Portland Fleet offense and be able to drive the ball down the field. Looks like they're in the red zone now, trying to pick up a touchdown before the end of the half because Portland gets the ball in the second half.
And this is a big composure drive for Colin Pierce after throwing 2 interceptions. One of them, to be fair, wasn't his fault, but it still doesn't feel good. Middle, goal line! First and goal, he was just short. was Jeff Banfield.
Yeah, great grab by Jeff Banfield. Had to go to the ground to pick it up. First and goal, 1 yard line. Let's see if Indianapolis keep the ball in their hands to be able to get in the end zone.
Do they give it to Christian Pierce? They do, and Christian Pierce goes backwards a yard.
I don't dislike that call, but with Christian Pierce and the Indianapolis offense being a very air-heavy offense, and they've been doing nothing but out routes this entire drive, I couldn't see them doing a swing pass or some sort of other out route to a receiver to get in the end zone there.
Xavier Kona, who's in for the injured Luis Negron, made the stop. Second and goal, Pierce to throw over the middle. It's a penalty flag flies. Brian Roosevelt has the ball in the end zone, and I believe that's going to be a touchdown because I think the penalty is pass interference. It's a late hit against the Fleet. Derek Majors picks it up. It's a touchdown for the Ramblers at an extra point away from tying the game.
And just a great job by the Ramblers, again, capitalizing on a turnover, being able to go down the field, being able to tie up this game, potentially going into the half tied up, since Portland's going to get the ball the second half.
I hope everybody likes roller coasters out there in SFL land, because we are certainly on one tonight. 28-28 with 30 seconds left to go in the first half.
This has been an absolute exciting first half of football for the late night game on Sunday night. Would you not say, Mike?
I mean, lived up to the billing and then some between these two offenses that are very dynamic in their differing styles. Indianapolis with the pass and Portland with the run. And we've kind of seen this game play out exactly how we thought it would when we were talking before the game, Mickey, is both of these defenses are not fantastic, but both of these offenses are.
Absolutely, and the big thing was, would either one of these defenses be able to step up and stop the strength of the other offense? Indianapolis, their rushing defense stepping up, be able to stop Ezekiel Love, and the passing defense be able to stop Colin Pierce for Portland.
And right now, the answer is no on both counts. Love, as Portland just looked to ride out the last 20 seconds and head into the locker room tied. Ezekiel Love at one point in this game was averaging over 10 yards a carry. That's come down to 8.7, still almost 200 yards in the first half.
And most of those came from that 69-yard touchdown run.
Well, he still had 103 yards that were not on that touchdown run. 103 yards in the first half is still really good, even if you take that touchdown run away.
Well, if Ezekiel Love keeps up this pace going into the second half, we could have a 250, 300-yard game from him.
We shall see. End of the first half. Fleet 28, Ramblers 28. Offense aplenty, 3 interceptions. I mean, Nicky, what is there to say about that first half that hasn't already been said?
Absolutely nothing, Mike. I mean, it's right there on the screen. The passing attack by Indianapolis, 214 yards. The rushing attack by the Fleet, 167 yards. These two offenses are polar opposites, and you can see that just in the stat lines alone. It's the defenses that really need to step up. You see that great catch by Randy Pierce there to get this game going on the first drive for that touchdown. But these defenses have to step up and be able to stop the other offense. I mentioned it once, I'm mentioning it again. Portland has to stop the pass. Indianapolis has to stop the run. It's the only way that one of these teams is going to come out on top. If we go the way that we're going right now, whoever touches the ball last is going to win this game.
28-28, nice little nugget from Eddie Gage, one of our resident statisticians today, along with DJ Woods. Both quarterbacks over 100 QBR in the first half. And that just shows you how well that Cyrus Giant is playing, even though Ezekiel Love gets all the top billing on this Portland offense.
And Cyrus Jive is 10 for 11, and that one incompletion on his stat line is the interception that he threw.
A very clean game by Jive, and Colin Pierce has been a little bit more gung-ho with the football. He's tried to go down the field to Randy Pierce and has been picked off twice, but mostly it's just been those out-route passes to Roosevelt and Banfield that have just shuffled the fleet backwards.
And that's been a game plan by Indianapolis all season, just those out routes by those receivers, picking up 5, 6, 7 yards. You pick up 5, 6, 7 yards every play, you're just going to be able to roll it down the field.
This was the best run of the night for Ezekiel Love. Just makes a couple of defenders look absolutely silly. Thought he was going to score, but he ended up being down at the 1 yard line. He would punch the ball in one play later. I don't think I've ever seen a halftime highlight reel this long in my entire history of the league. I've been here a while.
Hey, you know what? I have to agree with you. I may only be here for 2 seasons, but this is one of the longest first half highlight reels that I've seen. There's just been highlights on both sides of the ball. 4 touchdowns on each side.
And it seems like every play there's something interesting going on. This is the kind of game that will sell you on the SFL. If you're brand new to the league, welcome. You join at a potential game of the season candidate right here, as DJ Wood says in the chat. Joseph Clausen also here. I'm famous. Ryan Roosevelt, Matt Dre, everybody else watching on YouTube. Matt Dre had the $5 super chat earlier. Thank you very much. We head to half number 2. What's going to happen? Who knows? Will there be a lot of points? Very likely here in Portland tonight. It's not raining, but there is a heavy chance of points in this second half. Portland's going to start with the football. And before we get to the Fleet's first drive of the second half, Cameron Irvine's got a update for us. What's going on over in San Diego, Cam, or Denver, Cam? It can't be nearly as exciting what's going on over here.
It is not. Actually, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, well, we'll get to him in a moment. Benji Matson with 2 touchdowns since Nakai got in. But Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who leads the league in rushing yards, has -5 rushing yards on 8 carries tonight. San Diego looking to bounce back after their loss to Kansas. He does.
Love in the flat spins, once spins, twice first down. And on that game, quickly, Mickey, San Diego, with the ownership transfer to Dave Axis, a little bit of a aesthetic rebrand, they have really kickstarted that franchise this season.
Oh, absolutely. I had the honor of calling one of the games for San Diego earlier this year, and they were just absolutely dynamic the entire game. Dave Axis, that new ownership over there, doing a fantastic job with San Diego.
And if you've seen any of the screenshots of the stadium that they're putting together for 2K4 for next season, oh boy, you are going to love that. Right now, let's refocus on Season 20, Week 7. Jive all day in the pocket, has to go to the safety valve of Ezekiel Love, who only picks up 2. That might be his least gain offensive play of the night.
I think so with Ezekiel Love, and with that, Ezekiel Love is Irish Jive's favorite target right now. Ezekiel Love has gotten 6 receptions right now for 35 yards, 5.8 yards per reception.
Jive to the corner, 3rd and 1. Nice job to drag the toes there by Benjamin Warner. He had the first Portland touchdown of the game back in the first quarter.
Now it looks like Portland's moving down the field. 3rd and 1. Are they going to keep it on the ground with Ezekiel Love? They're going to put it in the air. Smart play would be put it in Love's hands and let him pick up that 1 yard to get the first down.
Jive, middle knocked away.
And that was Adam Weissman on that deflection right there. Great job on 3rd down for Indianapolis to get the ball back now, keeping Portland at a rare no points in the drive.
Is this our first punt today? It is.
And
Gage, Johnny on the spot with the stat first punt today for either team, and the It's actually 4th and 1, and they get the jump. We're not going to see a punt at all. It's a first down for the Fleet.
Great discipline by the Fleet there. Great job by them just to stand tall, be able to pick up that first down. That was number 34, the halfback, Lonnie Wright, that they handed the ball to. They didn't rely on Ezekiel Love that time. They gave it to their halfback, and he was able, even though the Ramblers defense jumped off sides, giving him a free play, Wright was able to pick up more than the 5 yards.
It's an interesting note on Christian Pierce. He has 218 yards today. That puts him over 2,000 passing yards for the season. That was a great play from Blake Prine, the cornerback. Read that pass all the way and knocked it down.
Great job just coming up, stepping up. That receiver was open. If Prime didn't come up and knock that ball down, that would have been a big first down pickup for the Fleet.
2nd and 10. Remember, Portland still only has possession because of a jump off sides on 4th down by Indianapolis. Jive, all kinds of pressure in the backfield. He throws a pick. And I'll tell you what, if Ernest McCray Sr. didn't step out of bounds right there, he probably was gone for 6.
There was no doubt in my mind. There was not one blue jersey on that side of the field. He just couldn't keep his feet in bounds there, just tiptoed right out of bounds. But that is his 2nd interception of the game, and it came at the right time for Indianapolis.
Now both quarterbacks have thrown 2 interceptions. McCray has 2 for Indianapolis. Dak has 1 and Majors has 1 for Portland. Ramblers back on offense, looking to swing the game their way once again. Pierce, out route caught by Banfield for 7 yards.
This may be just a great momentum turn for Indianapolis here, being able to pick up that interception right there when they desperately needed it as Portland was driving down the field. They're going to keep to their game plan, the out routes to the receivers, being able to pick up those 7 yards each play and just drive down the field and get in the end zone.
2nd down and 3. Do they dare run Christian Pierce here? No. He's going to stay in the backfield to block, and that was a good decision because Roosevelt picks up a first down.
Eric Majors on the tackle there. It looks like he just clotheslined Roosevelt to be able to take him down.
Let's go.
I mentioned Colin Pierce, over 2,000 yards passing on the season. Now, the receiving core of Indianapolis is over 2,000 receiving yards on the season.
That's just a great job by that air game by Indianapolis right there. 2,000 yards just is a great accomplishment for anybody in the SFL.
And to do it in 5 and almost 3/4 games when you've got 6 games left on the season. On pace for 4,000 yards passing. Pierce goes deep, tipped up in the air, and it's batted around by about 3 different defenders. Majors had the last look at it. Davis was in there as well. And it ends up being 3rd and 10. It's another one of those deep passes that almost burns the Ramblers.
Absolutely. Pierce has got to be careful with those deep passes. That's what happened the last 2 times that he's threw an interception. They're driving down the field, at least getting a field goal range, be able to take back the lead. Don't put the ball back in blue.
3rd and 10. Not quite in field goal range yet of the Ramblers. They got to go for this. Pierce deep down the field, caught by Banfield at the 20-yard line.
Well, safe to say they're in field goal range now. What a great play by Jeff Banfield going over with that post route. And great pass there by Colin Pierce too, being able to have Banfield catch it right in stride.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Right in stride by Banfield. Indianapolis in business in the red zone at the 20-yard line. Pierce steps into the pocket, throws, intercepted at the 5. Oh, he had a defender behind the defense, but Brody Gulch was wise to it and not only prevents the touchdown, but gets his team the ball back.
And Brody Gulch right there just turned around at the right time to see where the ball was coming. Looks like he was looking for the other Pierce, Randy Pierce there. But this is actually very opportune for Indianapolis. Portland's starting on their own 3-yard line. If they're able to stop him and keep him here, they're going to be able to get the ball back in great field position.
Heavy set. This is prime Ezekiel Love territory. He does get the ball strong side, and you predicted it, Mickey! You predicted it! It's a safety. It's the first negative carry of the game for Ezekiel Love, and it costs his team 2 points.
Well, I must have ESP or something like that, because that's what happened. Just exactly what Indianapolis had to do, and they did it on that first play. They capitalized on the fact that Portland had a very short field.
Eat your heart out, Ramostradamus. We've got Mind Reader Mickey in here. 30-28 Indianapolis, and I thought we've seen it all. Now we really have seen it all.
a kickoff return, a safety, an analyst being able to predict plays. What else is going to happen in this game?
Now, is this the catalyst that Indianapolis needs to go on and win this game? They're up by 2. They've broken the kind of you get 7, I get 7, you get 7, I get 7 kind of rhythm that this game has been in since early in the 4th quarter. And Banfield is another downfield catch to put the Ramblers in Portland territory.
Well, I think that's exactly what Indianapolis needed. That safety right there was what Indianapolis needed. Their heads were starting to hang after that interception. They were driving down the field, getting great yardage, and then boom, turnover. Their defense did what they had to do and just put a spark of life back into the offense of these Ramblers.
If you had asked me to predict who would have made the biggest play in the game, I would not have told you a defensive player. That much I am sure.
Absolutely not, and what a catch there by Ryan Roosevelt. Just put his body on the line, almost Supermaning up there to be able to catch the ball for 8 yards.
We didn't say it at the time, but Chris Britton, the linebacker, was the player for Indianapolis who tackled Love behind the line of scrimmage to get the safety. They go to Christian Pierce, and he's just short. 3rd down and inches.
Now, this is going to be an interesting play call for Indianapolis. Their running game really hasn't been much this game. So do they put it into Christian Pierce's hands to try to pick up those inches? Or do they put it in the air and risk another interception when they're right outside the red zone?
Christian Pierce, 4 carries for 6 yards in the game. He is the single back. They're going to hand it to him, and he's going to pick up the 1st down and more. Towards the 15-yard line, they'll mark him at the 17.
Well, Christian Pierce, I think, just doubled his yardage in the game on that play. And it was a great job by him just to be able to keep his head down, get the ball, hit the hole, find a little bit of an opening, and pick up more than the 2 inches that he needed for the 1st down.
Clock ticks under 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Can Indianapolis take a 2-score lead for the first time in the 2nd half? That was almost picked by Mel Davis.
Mel Davis is dropping back in pass coverage there for that inside linebacker. And I think that's been the Achilles heel for the Indianapolis offense right now, is those passes over the middle. They did have that one to Randy Pierce at the beginning of the game, which just was a great job. But everything else that the receivers have been catching has been those out routes. Anything over the middle is where Colin Pierce has been getting into trouble.
2nd and 10. They go to Christian Pierce. Look out. Robert Brar and Joe Bo McSlim combined for the huge tackle for loss.
And those are a couple of big boys to stack up on Christian Pierce. I'm glad he was able to get up after those big boys came down on him. Both of them over 300 pounds.
3rd and 11. Pierce in the gun. 5 receivers to aim at. He goes to the back corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Well, fortunate for Indianapolis, they are in field goal range, but
they're challenging it. They are challenging it. They think that Jeff Banfield got his feet down. And we will go to the review. This would be huge for Indianapolis if this stands. He's got 1 foot in, but he needs 2.
I think he had it there.
Tell.
I think he has it.
Touchdown, Indianapolis! The review overturns the call on the field, and the Ramblers take a 2-score lead.
Great job by Coach Adam Weissman there to throw out that red flag. Banfield absolutely had his feet in bounds. Guessing that back judge back there needs a new set of glasses because he missed it because Banfield was obviously in bounds.
Interesting that they're not going for 2 here to potentially take a 10-point lead. It's just a 9-point lead for Indianapolis.
Very
Remember,
interesting.
the Ramblers were up as big as 14. They led 28-14 at one point.
No, I agree with you. Very interesting not to go for 2, but probably because they haven't had much success when it's just short yardage plays, with the exception of that Christian Pierce running play for 3rd and inches. But they're now up by 9. It's still a 2-score game.
And now Portland are going to have to come from behind again. They've done it once already. I mentioned they were down 2 scores in the first half. They came back to tie the game before the half. Actually, they came back to take the lead. And then Indianapolis tied the game before the half. And this 3rd quarter, at least the last couple of minutes, has been all Ramblers.
Yeah, I think Ramblers are turning around, and they are just stepping it up. They scored right before the half, and they haven't stopped scoring since. And they've been able to stop Portland when it was key.
Now down by 2 scores. Does Portland continue to pound on the ground? They do. Love bounces it outside, but only gets 3.
It was a great job by Ezekiel Love there because he was dead to rights in the backfield, but he just took a step back, reassessed, and was able to get around the end to pick up at least 3 yards and not negative yards.
2nd and 7 from your 34 yards.
2nd and 7, press coverage by the defensive backs. They're going to hand the ball off to Love again, crushed by Britton. Brings up 3rd down and 3. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss it. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation. 3rd and 3. He's got a blocker out in front of him. This is Ezekiel Love, a big 1st down pickup close to midfield.
And this 2nd half so far, Ezekiel Love has been pretty quiet. He did have 160 some odd yards. I think it was 163 at the end of the 1st half. With that negative play, which caused a safety, he's only got 179 yards. So he's only picked up 16 yards with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Low 2nd half for Love, but then again, Portland hasn't really had the ball all that much. Love, again, pushing his way through traffic, but only gets 3. In the 2nd half, here are your drive summaries. Portland threw an interception after 7 plays. Indianapolis threw an interception after 6 plays.
2nd and 6.
Portland, it says here fumble, but we haven't had a fumble. Indianapolis then made the touchdown after 7 plays, and then Portland is on its current drive. So Portland has only had, before this drive started, 6 offensive plays in the 3rd quarter.
And I think that drive that says fumble was the safety.
There was the safety, you are correct. There's 1 play minus 3 yards, and it just shows up as a fumble on our stat sheet.
But yeah, Portland has not had the ball that much, so it's the reason why Ezekiel Love really hasn't been able to pick up yards, but it does look like Portland's picking up yards right now.
They move the chains by throwing it to Nelson Lozano. Swing City out to number 21, Love. A lot of work to do. He can't do it. It's McCray and Britton tag teaming to bring him down.
And the left defensive end there by Indianapolis, I think it's Mac Dre. He was able to just go untouched into the backfield. It was a great job by Cyrus Drive to be able to get the ball to Ezekiel Love on that last play.
Love. Oh, he looks a bit tired there, but he still picks his way through for a first down. He's now touched the ball on 33 of Portland's 51 offensive plays, thanks to Eddie Gage for that little nugget.
Ezekiel Love is the primary weapon on this Fleet offense. It's going to be Indianapolis Ramblers' defensive job to be able to stop him from being able to touch the ball or gain big yards.
This time it is the backup running back in there as Love takes a breather on the sidelines, Lonnie Wright. Although Wright did pick up a couple of yards after the offsides jump on fourth down, early in this quarter. So that's his second time on the field. Love back in on 2nd and 9. Jive goes down. He tried to get away from the defender, but he is wrapped up and dropped by Jabril Curse.
And that's exactly what Indianapolis needed. Jive dropping back. He held the ball a little bit too long, and Curse comes in the backfield and takes him down. 3rd and long right now for Portland.
3rd and 14. You want to pick up a little bit of yardage here, at least, so you don't fall back out of field goal range. Jive throws a pick. Oh, that's really what you didn't want. Adam Nold collects the interception. It's the 3rd pick of the game for Jive.
We're going to watch this replay. Just a great job by Nold. He was in the center of the field right there, just keeping an eye, double covering the receiver. Saw the ball coming his way, put his hands up, was able to get that big pick as Portland was driving down the field, trying to put another 6 on the board.
Jive, who had only thrown 5 interceptions in 5 games coming into the night, has now thrown 3 in this one. And it almost was given right back. It is given right back. Somehow Chris Stack comes away with it in all the mayhem, and Portland really only loses about 10 seconds. They're right back where they were before.
They only lost 10 seconds, but they gained about 10, 15 yards there. So it's almost like they were able to catch the ball on the previous play. Now they're in prime position in the red zone to go in for 6.
That was the 2nd interception today by Portland off of a wild deflection. The 2nd for Stack in the game. Remember, Derek Majors had an interception on a crazy deflection back in the first half. And now the picks are piling up. This time, Portland goes underneath to Ryan Davis. Check that, that's Israel Adams. I believe that's Adams' first catch of the game. It is.
Adams has been targeted 3 times prior, but just hasn't been able to bring the ball in. That was the first time he was able to catch the ball this game so far.
2nd and 8, they give it to Love. Fresh off the bench, he picks up a first down. 1st and goal from the 2 for Portland. And the last time that they were in this spot, Love waltzed his way in.
And we'll see if mind reader Mickey can predict another play. Just give the ball to Ezekiel Love. He's been your primary offensive weapon all game long. This is not a time to try to put the ball in the air, especially with all the picks that have been happening. 7 interceptions so far this game.
4 straight Portland picks, but an interception of their own has them knocking on the door as we enter the 4th quarter right here on the SFL, presented by APM Music on YouTube. What a long game it has been. We're over an hour and a half. We haven't even started the 4th quarter yet. 1st and goal from the 2. Offsides, free play. Doesn't matter to Ezekiel Love. Touchdown, Fleet.
And I mentioned it right before the quarter ended. You just keep it in Ezekiel Love's hands at this point. He's been able to pick up those yards. He's only had one play for negative yards, which wound up being that safety as you see the Fleet decline the penalty so they can get the 6 points on the board. But Ezekiel Love has been nothing but a yard producer all game. 197 yards on the ground alone for Ezekiel Love.
Wouldn't bet against Love getting over 200 on the night before all is said and done. Rob, extra point, good. Back to a 2-point game, 37-35. The difference, once again, the safety forced by Chris Britton.
And that may be the difference in the game when the final score comes up in 11 minutes. Those 2 points may be key for Indianapolis winning this game if they keep on going back and forth, touchdown for touchdown.
And you said it at the half, Mickey. You said if one of these defenses doesn't step up, it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last. And it still might come down to whoever has the ball last. But the Indianapolis defense stepped up on that one play, and there you have it. The difference in the game right now. Indianapolis starts at their own 25 after the return by Kanye Rockefeller, whose kick return touchdown in the early going really set the stage for how wild this game would become. Pierce throwing long, caught by Roosevelt in between the safeties, and Indianapolis already on the doorstep of Portland territory.
And that was one of the few passes by Colin Pierce over the middle of the field that was completed by a white jersey. Every other pass that he's thrown in that area he's thrown an interception. Great job by Ryan Roosevelt, knowing that he had traffic, knowing he had two defenders around him, just being able to catch the ball, bring it in, pick up some big yards right there. Over 100 yards on the day for him.
All part of the Ryan Roosevelt gig. And this time pushing his way forward is Randy Pierce. Not often we see him in that position catching an out route. Usually he's the downfield threat.
But that out route again has been one of the key plays for Indianapolis. But when you see a 6'5", 243-pound tight end, he's going to put a hand in your chest and knock you to the ground like Randy Pierce did on that play.
2nd and 1. We've only seen one real good run by Christian Pierce, and it was in a similar situation. They've got to throw the ball. Coming back for the football and dropping it is Ryan Roosevelt, a rare miscue from WR1.
Brody Gulch right there. Got his hands on the ball, but just wasn't able to pull it in for the interception there. And that was the first time that Ryan Roosevelt did not catch a ball that was targeted to him.
Roosevelt averaging 151.4 yards per game this season. And on 3rd down, they go to Christian Pierce. And Jobo McSlim says absolutely not.
Jobo McSlim has been in the backfield more times than not so far this game.
3 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. And now, finally, with 9:38 to go in the 4th, we see our first punt of the game. And it's Matty Wiseman who gets it away, caught at the 13-yard line. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection. State-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Portland down 2 with the ball. Love goes backwards. Next week on Next Level Sports, the unbeaten Atlanta Swarm try to keep it that way, but the Portland Fleet have a win streak going. Well, we'll see if their win streak can keep going over the next 9 minutes and 17 seconds. Right now, Indianapolis is hell-bent on breaking that win streak. Love, patient running from Ezekiel Love, picks up 7. Fleet next week want to spoil the Swarm's dreams of a #1 seed kickoff next Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, only on NLSE Next Level Sports. Get more.
That's going to be an interesting play call for Portland here. 3rd and 6. We haven't seen them in this situation. Do they keep it on the ground with Love, or do they put it in the air?
They haven't done a lot of short-range to mid-range passing. Let's see what's in the playbook. And it's an out route for Adams, and it's incomplete. Ernest McCray Sr., who has the 2 picks for Indianapolis, read that play like a book, and it's a 3-and-out for Portland.
I do believe that's our first 3-and-out for Portland this game. A great job by the Indianapolis defense to be able to hold them to just 3 plays, keeping them deep in their own territory and being able to punt the ball, and now they'll get the ball in pretty good field position.
This is our first 3-and-outs, period, anywhere in the game. And Dominic Birkin punts from just outside his own goal line. Should be decent field position for Indianapolis. Rockefeller runs into trouble, but he does get to the Portland side of the 50. They'll start at the 47 with a 2-point lead and 8:25 to go.
So the drive before for Indianapolis, we saw our first punt. Then we saw the first 3-and-out of the game with Portland, and they had their first punt.
You think the offenses might be running out of steam here after putting on a show for 3 quarters?
It looks as though.
Indianapolis up 2, trying to break the 3-game winning streak of Portland. Incomplete. Every time a pass goes over the middle from either Colin Pierce or Cyrus Jive, I think, oh boy, here we go again with another interception.
I was feeling the same way, Mike. Just seeing that ball, 3 blue jerseys around Ryan Roosevelt there. And the ball starting to pinball around. I was thinking, here comes another interception.
7 picks this game. 4 for Portland, 3 for Indy. Christian Pierce, nice blocking up front. He looked like he had a lane, but Brody Gulch says you're only getting 3.
Well, Christian Pierce did see daylight there, but the one thing he didn't see was the nighttime hit from Brody Gulch to stop him from picking up a first down.
3rd and 7. These are the situations that have gotten Indianapolis in trouble where they're forced to throw down the field. Sometimes it's worked, but often or not it hasn't, and that throw is behind Ryan Roosevelt, and it's a 3-and-out for Indianapolis, and we've seen 3 straight punts here early on in the 4th quarter.
From being all high-powered offense for the first 3 quarters of the game, we are seeing how that fatigue is just bogging down on them, and now it's the time the defense is showing what they can do.
Both of these teams scoring well above their season average. Indianapolis averaging 27 points a game, Portland just 23.5. And that's a beautiful punt that dribbles down to the 4. And last time the Fleet were in this position, they gave up a safety.
And let's see if they do the same thing. They put it in the hands of Ezekiel Love, and it was just a great job by the Ramblers line to get into the backfield to force that safety. If they could do that again, this is just going to be another momentum turn in the favor of Indianapolis.
Love the single back, 3 receivers bunched off to the left. They're going to throw with Jive having his heels in the end zone, but he completes the pass in traffic for a first down to get out of the shadow of their own goalposts.
It gives them a lot of breathing room right now. That pass to number 81, Benjamin Warner, just being able to pick up the first down, being able to pick up 13 yards on that play. Now that Portland has a little bit of breathing room, but this is where they started to drive last time. Let's see if they could get out of their own red zone.
Offset eye. Look out, nowhere to go for Love. He had his legs cut out from under him by Blake Prine, a name we haven't really mentioned a lot today. Makes a huge intervention there.
And you're seeing the fatigue on both these offensives. Ezekiel Love, who was be able to put spin moves left and right, be able to get out of those situations, was taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 12. Passing situation for Portland. They haven't really fared well when forced to do so. Jive, deep middle, caught. Nelson Lozano, huge first down to the 46-yard line.
What I think Portland did in that half is that they said, we can't rely on Love, we have to look to the air. It hasn't paid out, but so far this drive, their big plays have been passing plays to the wide receivers. And Lozano there over the middle of the field, getting close to midfield after starting this drive on their own 4-yard line.
After all the heroics by Ezekiel Love, he's sitting at 199 yards for the game, needs only one to break over 200. Will he get it this time? He does. An excellent seal block on the outside by Tim Jones. Gets him over 200 yards for the game.
Ezekiel Love was over 200 yards earlier in this drive, but the -2 yards pushed him back down underneath. It's good to see him at 203 right now.
Love again on a stretch, nowhere to go. He tried to spin, but Kanye Rockefeller wrapped him up.
We mentioned it early in the game that it seemed like Kanye Rockefeller was just doing nothing but shadowing Ezekiel Love. And that's what he did on that play, just keeping an eye on him, making sure that he can't go anywhere, making this 3rd and 7 big play.
Middle caught. Another dime throw to Benjamin Warner. Big first down.
And that's what I was mentioning before. Portland is doing a great job in the air game now, where it's been nothing but pound the ground with Ezekiel Love. They're now throwing the ball, and the receivers are doing their job. Catching the ball, making the big plays, getting down the field.
Love, stretch play to the weak side, and you know he's getting tired when he's being run down by the defensive jackal, Jabril Curse.
Well, wouldn't you be tired if you ran 200 yards in a matter of 40 minutes?
Yeah, probably. I mean, especially with getting hit every time I did so by 300-pound defenders. Love going backwards. 3rd down and 13 now as the Ramblers defense holding on the edge of field goal range.
Adam White's in there. Big tackle for loss on Ezekiel Love. A rare tackle for loss on Ezekiel Love. We've only seen it a handful of times on him, but that was a big one, making this 3rd and long and Portland being outside of field goal position.
Throwing middle, caught on 3rd and 13. What a Houdini act. And it's Bouvette off the bench. He had a touchdown earlier, and now he makes a massive catch in traffic to save the drive.
Bouvette has just been a name you don't hear at all on the Fleet offense, but now twice, a touchdown and a big 3rd and 13 catch to keep Portland driving down the field.
Middle, caught again. Lozano, throw it to the tight end, gets into the 5.
You can see that hashtag popping up in the chat right now. Throw it to the TE, and that's exactly what they did. Lozano being really key in this game for the passing offense for the Fleet. just coming up big, catching the ball. They are now down to about the 5-yard line to make this 1st and goal.
This drive started on Portland's 4-yard line. They've had to convert multiple 3rd and 10 plus. And now they're in a position to take the lead. Will it be by 1 or by 6? We don't know. Excuse me, by 5. Ezekiel Love just on his last legs as Kirsch makes another tackle. Can he push them over the line?
That was a 2-yard pickup with the two negative yard plays on the previous series. It pushed them on to 200. Ezekiel Love now back over 200 with 201 yards on this game.
2nd and goal. We'll wait for the 2-minute warning to continue this pivotal offensive possession for Portland. It's been Cyrus Jive delivering the dimes that have gotten Portland into this position. Can they cap it off with a touchdown? The SFL, presented by APM Music on YouTube, has delivered in spades tonight. For the final time, welcome back. Michael Cirillo, Mickey Melillo. Indianapolis takes their first time out. It's 3rd and goal.
I don't know if Indianapolis should have taken that timeout. I think they do want to try to conserve the clock just in case. Well, Portland still will be able to take the lead, even if they don't get the touchdown here, because they'll be up by 1. But let the clock run, so when you do get the ball, you have just enough time to drive down the field and not leave time on the clock for Portland to come back down the field to regain the lead.
Third goal. Jive to the corner. Warner stretches for the pylon, and the Fleet have regained the lead.
Just a great job by Warner there, putting his foot into the ground, making that out route, just getting just over the goal line to put 6 on the board for the Fleet. Now this is going to be key. Do they go for 2, go for 1? It looks like they're going to try and kick for the PAT.
To go up by 5. It's up. It's good. I don't, there's no reason to go for 2 there, because if you're up by 6 and Indianapolis scores a touchdown, they're going to likely win the game on the extra point anyway. So take the guaranteed point. And for Indianapolis, now it doesn't matter if you win by 1, or win by 2, or win by 3. All that matters is you got to put the ball in the end zone.
You're absolutely right, Mike. My math was a little bit off there, so I apologize.
As someone who is mathematically challenged myself. Oh, look out, Kanye Rockefeller. Oh, he was one broken tackle away from potentially breaking away for his 2nd return touchdown of the game. They'll start in decent field position at the 32-yard line.
Great job by the Indianapolis special teams all game so far, but just great blocking there. And you're absolutely right. What Kanye Rockefeller did before was break a couple of tackles to get that touchdown. If he could have broken that 1, I think he was going for another 6.
Here we go. It's on the arm of Colin Pierce in the hands of his receivers. He goes short on first down over the middle. It's caught for a first down at the 44-yard line. Here come the Ramblers going up-tempo. It was Randy Pierce who made that catch on first down. Roar, the last one to get set. Pierce looking, throwing, caught, first down. Roosevelt gets folded over by the tackle, but he gets up and gets back to the line. They've switched the field now at the Portland 44. 1:23 to go, 2 timeouts for Indy. Pierce pumps, throws, almost intercepted, but it's caught for a first down. Jay Viper, with his first catch of the game, moves the chains. At the 33-yard line of Portland, Ramblers go again. This time, nobody covered the wheel route. Roosevelt picks up another first down, approaching inside field goal range, approaching the red zone of the 43. Pierce, middle, almost picked. Mel Davis had the game in his hands, and he let it hit the turf.
I honestly thought that ball over the middle of the field is what was going to stop Colin Pierce. That looked like it had a pick all over it. Mel Davis did a great job just being able to stop this momentum of Indianapolis because they just drove down the field from the 35 to the 23.
Indianapolis, who have already eclipsed their best scoring performance on the road in franchise history with 37 points tonight. Pierce going to the corner. Fantastic defensive play by Bernard Smith. I don't think we've called his name tonight, but he comes up huge there. 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10, definite passing situation. Absolute 4th down territory. If they get to 4th down, they're definitely going to go for it here. They need that 6 points on the board.
2 by 2 go the wide receivers. Single back Christian Pierce. He's only going to be in there to block. Pierce throws. End zone touchdown, Ramblers! Ryan Roosevelt was the last man standing in the end zone. And Indianapolis leads with under a minute to go.
Ryan Roosevelt, the number 1 receiver in the league, just gets behind the defense here. Puts some yardage in between the last safety valve for the Portland defense and was able to catch that ball. Colin Pierce saw that. Indianapolis taking the lead, but now the question is, did they leave too much time left on the clock?
Well, they're going for 2 here. They're going for 2 to try and make it so Portland can't win the game with an extra point, or with a field goal, excuse me. They're going to hand the ball off to Christian Pierce. He's short! He's short by a yard! And Portland, now all they got to do is get in field goal range for Joey Robb.
With the way that Portland was moving the ball, they weren't doing much on the ground. They were doing it over the air, which is going to be to their benefit here. If they can continue to pass the ball to the receivers like they did the last drive, they're going to get into field goal range, and very quickly.
You said it at halftime, Mickey. It might come down to who has the ball last, and right now, it's Portland Fleet. But they're working from their own 27-yard line. 3 timeouts, 44 seconds left. It's been the Ezekiel Love show for 3.5 quarters. But now Cyrus Jive and his receivers, they did it once already to take the lead with a minute and change to go. Now they've got the ball with 44 seconds left. Can they do it again? Empty set for Jive. He takes the snap, has time in the pocket, goes over the middle, it's caught. Broken tackle, Ezreal Adams, timeout, Portland. That one play almost puts them into field goal range. It puts them into Portland territory just across the midfield stripe.
That's what I was mentioning before. Adams over here, great route, being able to catch the ball and still be able to pick up yards after catch. But the receivers have stepped up from the last drive that they weren't doing for the beginning of the game. If Portland can keep that game plan right now, they're going to be in field goal range. They're going to be able to win this game.
Portland's highest scoring game in franchise history was 48 points. If they find the end zone one more time, which to be granted, they do not have to do, they would eclipse that margin. Love to the 46. Portland has 2 timeouts, but they'll go up tempo here. Under 30 seconds left. They want to get in field goal range with no time on the clock for Indianapolis to respond. Love shoulders a defender to the ground and picks up a huge first down to the Indianapolis 40. Timeout, Portland.
Don't know if I agree with Portland here about keeping it on the ground. Yes, Ezekiel Love has been a big producer in this game, but what it did right there with them going up tempo, they let time run off the clock. Half of the time left in the game, they started that play with 38 seconds. We're now down to 22 seconds left in the game. They knocked off half their seconds by just putting on 2 plays.
They're not in field goal range yet. They're at the 40-yard line. Jive, looking, throwing, caught! No, it's incomplete! The ball came out at the last second. I thought the receiver hung on to it, but he could not survive contact with the ground. 18 seconds left.
If you could see the look on my face right now, my jaw dropped because I was with you. I thought the receiver made a spectacular catch there.
2nd and 10, although that hardly matters. If that catch is made, the game is likely over. Jive all day in the pocket, throws. It's incomplete again! Davis had the ball in his hands, and it was jarred loose by Kanye Rockefeller.
Great job by this Indianapolis defense right now to just keep the ball from going down the field. 3rd and 10, 13 seconds left. Indianapolis, on the Indianapolis 40. If this gets to 4th down, do they attempt a 56, 57-yard field goal to try to win the game?
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I honestly think they're outside of Joey Robb's field goal range. They need about 5-6 yards at least. Jive, pumps, throws, knocked up in the air. It is incomplete. 4th and 10 with 9 seconds to go. And now, Mickey, do you draw up what would be one of the longest field goals in SFL history? Or do you chuck and pray?
You've got to chuck and pray here. They do, if they throw this ball, which they're going to throw this ball, and it's inbounds, they do have 1 timeout, but will they take too much time off the clock and it be at all zeros if they're not in the end zone?
They are not in Hail Mary formation. Jive, pumps, goes down! Does Portland have a chance to stop the clock? The clock is resting at 6 seconds, so I'm assuming they took their final timeout.
No, that was 4th down, Mike.
Oh no, the game's over!
Indianapolis, that big 4th down sack right there, stopped Portland's drive to get the ball back. All they have to do is take a knee, and this game is over. Great job by the Indianapolis defense right there.
In the heat of the moment, I forgot that it was 4th down. The Indianapolis Ramblers win an instant classic at Evo 9X Stadium in the Pacific Northwest, 43-42.
Indianapolis able to break their streak of not being able to win over a team with an above 500 record. They did it in big fashion, and what was the changing point of the game? That safety. That defensive stop, those 2 points they put on the board were enough to be the difference between a W and an L in this game for the Ramblers.
The Ramblers snap a 2-game losing streak. They break Portland's 3-game winning streak. And now, once again, all hell has broken loose in the Pacific Division, Mickey, because if Vancouver defeats Louisiana tomorrow, the Revolution are back on top in the division.
This has just been a crazy season for the Pacific Division, but what an absolute gem of a game we got to call tonight, Mike. Both these teams, high-powered offense, 28-28 going into the half. And then the defenses stepped up to be able to prove it. Here is that safety play. Britton coming in, stopping Ezekiel Love for the first negative yardage play of the game. And it proved to be the pivotal point for the Ramblers to win this game.
The first victory for the Indianapolis Ramblers away from the Snake Pit in franchise history. And it comes in the most dramatic fashion possible. Henry Jones says game of the season candidate. I think you can chalk this one up right now. This one is winning game of the season. I'm not sure what's going to top this.
I'm not sure. We've had a few barn burners, some high-scoring games, but this may have been high-scoring for the SFL, but it also was great job, big plays, big players producing, and the defense stepping up right when they needed it.
Okay, there have been some barn burners this season, I agree. This one just took napalm to the barn.
You know what, Mike? I agree with you. This barn just went sky high into the stratosphere because this was just electric from the beginning to the end.
A couple of key stats for you. Cyrus Jive, 24 of 33, only 72% completion, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Colin Pierce, 407 yards on 33 completions, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks, and it was just enough. Ezekiel Love, outstanding. 212 yards on 38 carries, 3 touchdowns. Also, 8 receptions for 38 yards out of the backfield as well. The defenses were all over it. Receptions, 2 for Chris Stack, 2 for Ernest McCray Sr. Colin Pierce was player of the game. I gotta give player of the game though to Chris Britt. He made the tackle in the end zone for the safety that eventually gave the Ramblers the win when it was all said and done.
I agree, Mike. 1,000% agree.
Well, it has been a heck of an evening from Evo 9X Stadium. It is time for us to say goodnight. For DJ Woods and the Scorpion King himself, Eddie Gage on stats. Cameron Irvine, Commissioner Extraordinaire, producing as always. They made us wait a long time for us to get in the booth together, Mickey, but we finally got a good one. For Mickey Belillo, my name is Michael Torello. Thank you so much for watching. Monday Night Spectacular tomorrow night with Cam and Paul Sarp, and then Week 8 coming up just around the corner. Good night, everybody.